Hello everyone and welcome back to tomorrow's weather today. We're gonna have two topics in one video today, just because I want to do a quick Cristobal and I didn't want to make it its own video. But Cristobal is 50 mile an hour um, storm right off the coast of Louisiana right now. We'll make it onshore in the coming hours. We do have a tornado threat for Louisiana and Mississippi today, with Cristobal coming on shore. Looking at the visible loop really quickly, it almost looks like to me that it's so we were talking about how it's very broad. It looks like the real circulation is starting to die southward and go like that. If we look, they're saying north the movement, but to me it kind of looks like it's making a dip southward. Um, you can see the low level swirl right here. It kind of looks like it's doing that. I think it's just um, making the loop and then it will be on shore. Definitely some more convection around the center than there was yesterday, um, but it's still the center is still exposed, and it's still very broad. Um, Looking at aircraft uh, reconnaissance, we can see that winds are light around the center, and then the strongest winds are way off to the southeast. And I bet you there's stronger winds down here too, um, but that was not sampled, and neither was up here. So that is it for Cristobal. Surge is still going to be. There's a lot of flash flooding, high risk, 50% chance um, for Louisiana and Mississippi, and a long area of slight. 35 feet still going for surge down here in 2 to 4 feet. Um, a lot of winds is making it on shore already, and there are storm surge watches and warnings out. So that will be it for Cristobal. Now we're going to go on to the severe weather threat for today. Um, as you can see, we have an enhanced risk for North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota, and a slight risk going all the way down to Utah, and a marginal risk extending from there, going into Nebraska and Utah. We do have a 10% chance hatched for tornadoes, so probability of EF2 to EF5 has been increased. 30% chance for wind with significant severe and hail 30% with significant severe. So we have a chance for a severe weather outbreak. Tornadoes, large hail, and severe gusts likely today. Going over to the HRRR model, we're going to look at our future radar here. We can already see some cells popping out in the next few hours in Wyoming. And moving this ahead, we can see these storms start to move in to the Dakotas by 22Z, which is 21, 22. So it's 6 p.m. because most of the Dakotas are Central Time, so 6 p.m. would be 0Z. 4 p.m. This would be 4 p.m. We can already see storms going up in South Dakota. 7 p.m. we can see a line starting to go with very strong, with very large hail. And these out in front of, so we have this line of storms, and then we have these. These are going to be your tornado producers. These out here that are not in a line. Um, those have the best chance to produce tornadoes. And then this really starts to become a line as they all congeal. And these are going to be your tornado producers by 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Even more of a line stretching from the Canadian border down through South Dakota. And moving this through the night into the evening hours, we can see this might be a tornado producer if this falls through, since it is on the southern side, but that's hard to tell. Before we go to Cape, let's go to our dew point. We can see we have some high dew points, 60s, 70s. We're going to do this. Let's see, 69-degree dew point. LCLs are a little high. That's the only thing I think could limit today's tornado risk. But we have a lot of cape, very little cap, and that cap is going to allow less storms to become a line. If there was a cap, there's a little, no, not really. If there was a cap, it would allow only storms to go up where the cap breaks. A lot of cape, as you can see here. Looking at the classic supercell range, Not a lot of wind shear. That's also going to be a limiting factor today. Um, at this specific sounding, you can see we have a EF0 to EF1 range. Taking it a little farther north, LCLs are a little lower, still pretty high. Looking at non-classic supercells, very steep lapse rates in the lowest few kilometers. Shear's not doing any better here. You would like to see winds out of the southeast. So let's go back to the composite radar, find those cells. So let's take it right out ahead of these cells. Let's see what this is calling for. Very steep lapse rates, relative humidity. It's about 34, 15. Yeah, that's not fantastic. It's because it's very hot, but there's enough surface moisture. It's actually very. It trails off quickly. The moisture. Oops, I did not mean to do that. My bad. Um, I want to get it in. Let's see. Hold on. I'm sorry. Reflectivity. Yeah, this is what I wanted. So I want to take it out ahead of that. Just want to see the environment. Yeah, very little cape. Yeah, that wasn't the best sounding. So let's go back to surface-based cape. Bring it back. You can see we have a ton of energy in the atmosphere. Getting close to 4,000 joules per kilogram. Not a lot of shear credit angle at 49, but we do have some SRH. Precipitable water's high, LCLs are high. Precipitable water is like how much rain could potentially fall out of a cloud. Looking at these LCL heights, they are very high. You kind of want to see them around 1,000 and under. Supercell composite at this very time. Looks like to me maybe there's a warm front right here. If we actually go to the charts, and wait, this is at 21Z. Yeah, there's a warm front there. That's what I was talking about. They have the warm front here, but on the HRRR it looks like it's more up here. This would be our warm front right here, most likely. Looking at the mixed layer cap, not really a lot of cap, maybe some. I think this is behind the storms though. SIGTOR parameter, highest north of the warm front, which is right here. If we go to the 10-meter winds, we can probably see that. Yeah, you can kind of see that change in direction. You can see the southerly winds here and then out of the southeast there. Yeah. So that the risk is out there for tornadoes. But with the LCLs being so high, I don't know if we're going to see a lot. But today definitely has the potential to um, be producing tornadoes. Yeah, see, those LCLs are very high. That's why you're getting a severe threat. But definitely hail, very large hail today, and some strong winds. Certainly possible. If we go back to the SCP, let's go over to the mesoscale analysis. You know I like using this. New convective outlook has. So, there you go. So with the newest outlook, the 10% is much smaller, and I actually agree with that because this is right along the warm front that we were talking about, and those LCLs are extremely high in this area, which is those are going to be the cloud tops are going to, or not the tops, the cloud base is going to be higher off the ground, and for tornadoes they need to be close to the ground. Yeah, everything seems like it shrunk. That 30% chance for wind and hail also shrunk. Very large hail, significant damage caused in a few tornadoes. Yeah, see, they changed it to a few tornadoes, which makes sense to me. Um, there's already some cape building, and it looks like our warm front is in this general vicinity. You can see that wind shift right there. Moving this ahead a few hours, you can see that cape starts to really build in. And those on the, I can't really move my cursor, but you can see in northern Minnesota, those are going to be your tornado producers, most likely, in the next 6 hours or so. Looking at Helicity, yeah, there's a lot, there's enough. Yeah. Supercell composite, there's a lot. High numbers, very high numbers. Downdraft cave, you want this to be lower for tornadoes. Higher will produce very strong downdrafts. And tornadoes do not like downdrafts. When storms become outflow dominant, those are those downdrafts, and they are tornadoes will likely um, not be able to form. Looking at, let's see, dew point. Looks like our moisture access is right there. If we go to surface obs, for right now, we can see 70s, 60s, 61. So I would say our moist axis is in here somewhere. You can see 50s over here, 40s up here. Um, I would certainly say our our probably warm front is like right here too. Somewhere you can see winds this way and then this way with the falling off of dew points. So I would say it's definitely probably in here a warm front as of right now. And this moisture will increase throughout the day. Is there anything else that I want to look at? 500 millibars, you can see we have that upper level support. If we go to the HRRR, we definitely have 500 millibar winds, and our low level jet will be increasing. Um, yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a new video. And comment down below, have you ever, what's the largest hail size that you have ever been affected by? I would love to hear that. Thank you all for watching.